Welcome to another Reviewed for You Travels video. In this one we'll be showing you the list of most notorious criminals. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing and don't forget to like and ring the bell to be notified to our next video. Thank you, keep it groovy. 1. Pablo Escobar. Colombian drug lord. Listed in Drug Lords, Gangsters. Birth date, December 1, 1949. Sun sign, Sagittarius. Birthplace, Rio Negro. Died, December 2, 1993. A notorious Colombian drug lord, Pablo Escobar was the founder and leader of the infamous Medellin cartel. His drug cartel monopolized the cocaine trade into the United States, and he became one of the wealthiest criminals ever in history. Dubbed the King of Cocaine, he left behind a controversial legacy upon his death at the age of 44. 2. Ted Bundy. Listed in Serial Killers, Murderers. Birth date, November 24, 1946. Sun sign, Sagittarius. Birthplace, Burlington. Died, January 24, 1989. Ted Bundy was an American serial killer who kidnapped, raped and murdered a number of women and girls during the mid and late 1970s. He ultimately confessed to his crimes and was sentenced to death by electric chair. Later, the life of one of the most notorious criminals of the late 20th century inspired a number of books and movies. 3. Richard Ramirez. Listed in Murderers, Serial Killers. Birth date, February 29, 1960. Sun sign, Pisces. Birthplace, El Paso, Texas, United States. Died, June 7, 2013. American serial killer, rapist, and burglar, Richard Ramirez terrorized the people of California, primarily Los Angeles, between 1984 and 1985 before being eventually captured by the police. The brutal criminal, also known as Night Stalker, was finally found guilty of 43 charges, including 13 murders, and was sentenced to death. While on a death row, he died of cancer. 4. Al Capone. Gangster, co-founder and boss of the Chicago outfit crime family. Listed in Gangsters, Drug Lords. Birth date, January 17, 1899. Sun sign, Capricorn. Birthplace, Brooklyn, New York, United States. Died, January 25, 1947. Al Capone, also known by the nickname Scarface, was one of the most notorious American gangsters who controlled the organized crime in Chicago between 1925 and 1931. He was known for violence and cruelty in eliminating rival gang members, the most infamous incident being the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. His life inspired numerous books and films. 5. Zodiac Killer. Listed in Serial Killers, Murderers. Birthplace, United States of America. Zodiac Killer was an unidentified American serial killer who spread terror in the Northern California from late 1960s to early 1970s. In his letters to police and press, he claimed to have killed 37 people, out of which 5 were confirmed. Though he was never caught, his case inspired numerous books, films and television series, including Clint Eastwood's classic Dirty Harry. 6. Jeffrey Dahmer. American serial killer and sex offender. Listed in Murderers, Serial Killers. Birth date, May 21, 1960. Sun sign, Gemini. Birthplace, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, United States. Died, November 28, 1994. One of the most notorious serial killers ever convicted in America, Jeffrey Dahmer terrorized the Milwaukee region in the 1980s. He targeted young men and boys, who he would lure to his house on some pretext before torturing and killing them. Finally arrested and imprisoned in the early 1990s, he was killed by a fellow inmate in 1994. 7. Jack the Ripper. Listed in Murderers, Serial Killers. Birthplace, England. Jack the Ripper was an unidentified serial killer who predominantly targeted female prostitutes living and working in the ghetto of the East End of London. Since the murders were never solved, Jack the Ripper became infamous folklore in England. The murders were so cleverly done that the authorities were not even able to ascertain the killer's gender. 8. John Wayne Gacy. Listed in Murderers, Serial Killers. Birth date, March 17, 1942. Sun sign, Pisces. Birthplace, Chicago, Illinois, United States. Died, May 10, 1994. John Wayne Gacy was a sex offender and a serial killer. He assaulted, raped and murdered at least 33 boys and young men in 1960s and 1970s. He tortured and killed all his victims inside his ranch house near Norridge, a village in Norwood Park. He was given death sentence in March 1980 and was executed in May 1994. 9. Ed Gein. Listed in Serial Killers, Murderers. Birthdate, August 27, 1906. Sun sign, Virgo. Birthplace, La Crosse County, Wisconsin, United States. Died, July 26, 1984. Popularly known as the Butcher of Plainfield, Ed Gein was a murderer and body snatcher. His spine-chilling life-insane acts like exhuming corpses and making keepsakes and trophies from their skin and bones inspired films like The Silence of the Lambs, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Psycho. 10. Aileen Wuornos. Listed in Serial Killers. Birthdate, February 29, 1956. Sun sign, Pisces. Birthplace, Rochester, Michigan, United States. Died, October 9, 2002. Sexually and physically assaulted by her own grandfather during her childhood and teenage years, Aileen Wuornos took to prostitution to support herself. From becoming pregnant at age 14 to engaging in sexual activities in exchange for drugs, Aileen's early life played a major role in turning her into a serial killer. Her story eventually became quite famous in popular culture. The list can be termed as nothing but the tip of the mountain. There are several criminals who have committed or are committing heinous crimes and are escaping the clutches of the law. With the advent of technology and the new age law enforcement mechanisms, one could only wonder how such crimes continue to happen in society. Do you like our video? Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the button above this video.